Hi everyone, welcome to my new video series about speaking. I'm separating these videos into three. The first one will be about what to do to prepare for the test. The next one will be about what to do during the test. And the last one will be about mistakes to avoid. I've got 5 tips for each. In this video, I'll be looking at what to do when you prepare for the test. Okay, so here are my 5 tips to help you be ready to take the test. My first tip is to make sure that you know the test well. So that means you need to look at some example tests online. In other words, watch a YouTube video and watch some people doing it themselves so you can see what will happen. Do a few practice tests yourself. There's lots on the internet. So yeah, go through the whole thing. It usually takes about 12 minutes. Part 1 is simple questions about your hobbies, your experiences, what you like and dislike. Part 2 will ask you to talk about something for 2 minutes. They'll give you a card with some points on it. Remember, in this part, you don't actually have to talk about all the points. They're just there to help you. So don't feel that like, oh, I need to do 30 seconds on each point. It's fine to just use one point if you need to. So that's part 2. And part 3 is more difficult questions, and these ones are usually about your opinion on things. They're designed to push your language a little bit more. So that's the first point. Make sure you're prepared and you know the test very well. Let's go to our second point now. The second point is to improve your fluency. This means not speaking quickly. A lot of people think fluency means that they can talk very quickly. It's not that at all. Fluency is the ability to talk smoothly and naturally, and to be understood easily. So, I mean, a big part of this is just talking a lot, okay? You need to learn to talk to people, talk to friends. If you don't have any friends that you can speak in English to, there are groups online where you can connect with a virtual friend over Zoom or Facebook, this sort of thing. If you're not comfortable doing that, it's perfectly fine to just talk to yourself like a crazy person, okay? Maybe talk to your dog, that might help. Talk to the mirror, find a way to talk, okay? You can't come into the test cold. You need to be talking every day. I recommend at least half an hour a day to talk. So that's the second point, work on your fluency. The third point is to work on your pronunciation. Now, pronunciation is very difficult to fix. You'll find that there are 2 kinds of pronunciation issues. One of them is accent, the other one is mistakes. Now, accent is okay. There's no big problem with accent. Accent is usually associated with vowel sounds. So, for example, the way we pronounce vowels in Australia, myself, is a little bit different to the way Kiwis or New Zealanders pronounce sounds. For example, I will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They might say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6 are obviously different, but they're not wrong to say it like that. Not very wrong. It's just an accent. So that's not a big deal if your vowel sounds are slightly different. It is a big deal if your consonant sounds are different. If you can't say TH properly, that's a mistake. It's not really an accent problem, it's a mistake problem. So a lot of people have problems saying the, these, this. Maybe if you're from a country like Thailand, you might have problems with S. Instead of saying six like a Kiwi, you'll say suk or sik because the S doesn't come out properly. So be familiar with the mistakes you make because every language has its own issues. And work on those things, especially the consonant sounds. Make sure you can always hit those correctly. Let's go to our fourth point. Point number 4 is learn to fix your mistakes. So by this I mean it's not good enough to just talk all the time. You have to be improving. And the question is, how do you know you're improving? Well, really you need to get feedback. Now, if you can't get feedback from a native speaker, and most people can't, it's just not practical, try to just record yourself. Okay, get your phone and do a speaking test, record it, and then go back, play it, and listen to what you're actually saying. It's important to be good at grammar for this, because you need to be able to analyze your own writing, speaking. It might even be a good idea to type out what you're saying to give you a real good picture of what's going wrong. So you might be doing plurals wrong. You might be making mistakes with articles. There might be some bad habit you're making. So if you type it into Microsoft Word, you'll actually have grammar check come up, and that might even point out a few things that you're doing wrong. So yeah, make sure you record yourself and make sure you're always fixing mistakes. That's really important. Point number 5 is to make sure you're always speaking in full sentences. By full sentences, I mean subject plus verb, and maybe a connecting word, and then subject plus verb again. All too often I hear people speaking and they just don't worry about the subject and the verb. At low levels, they might say, I like going to the beach because it's nice, and they skipped it, right? Or they might say English, I don't like English because difficult. And because difficult, it's like, no, it is difficult. You need your subject and your verb. So make sure you learn to always speak in sentences. If you're not speaking in sentences, you can't use connectors. You can't show that you're speaking in complex sentences. And so your grammar score gets damaged, among other things. So make sure you always learn to speak in sentences. That's good practice to do that. In the next video, I'll be looking at what to do during the test. What you do during the test is very different from what you do when you're preparing for it. So I think you'll find that video useful, and maybe even, I think it's even more important than this one. So I'll see you in that one. Now remember, if you need help in writing, I'm at passyourilts.net. That's my website. And Pass Your IELTS, the Facebook page. That's where I'm most active and the best way to contact me as well. So I'll see you in the next video.